The divine plan for mankind. Probably everyone has wondered where the meaning of life lies. The meaning for oneself, for humanity, for creation. As an initiate, you can return to the origin of creation, to the source of everything we call God, the eternal light, divine providence, nirvana, the great spirit, or akasha. You can experience this highest and first form of life, of pure being of existence. The one differentiated into the diversity of creation, into different planes of existence, into a multidimensional cosmos with innumerable individual beings. God did this, or better does this, because God can do this. It is an expression of his being. God can experience himself as a limited individual being in interaction with other creatures in an unfathomable variety of manifestations, forces, and characteristics. So we can say that God, the Supreme Being, experiences himself through his creatures in creation, self-awareness, self-experience. We can say that this is the great purpose of creation, self-knowledge through limitation. Creation in its unlimited diversity is an expression, an image of the essence of God. Let us take another step. God has created various classes of living beings, plants, insects, animals, human beings, the beings of the four elements, the spirits of the spheres, and various kinds of other beings on the astral and mental planes. All creatures have a certain purpose, function, and meaning in creation. Certainly all creatures and beings are special, but the most interesting role is played by man. Man is designed in such a way that at the lowest level of development he appears like a more or less intelligent animal, with a great potential to develop the divine nature in all virtues and powers. Therefore, according to the divine potential of man, it is correct to speak of the crown of creation. In this way and in this inner development, the purpose of man is revealed. Humanity is destined to unfold its inner divine nature on the spiritual level, on the soul level, and also on the material level. It is an inner development, an inner evolution, which also manifests itself in the outer world in the form of technical progress. The core of this meaning and process is that man begins in great limitations, with ignorance, with a small and needy ego consciousness, and then grows over endless incarnations, expanding his limitations, his knowledge, and one day unfolds the divine, unlimited nature, the divine virtues and powers. This is indeed an amazing experience, self-awareness, self-knowledge. It means becoming a god in a limited body. This is the greatest thing there is in creation. It is the maximum, the peak of self-consciousness. From this inner sense of man, the whole history becomes logical. First we lived in the higher realms near God in pleasant circumstances, alive under divine sunshine. Then the fall into matter began. Step by step we fell from God into the deeper realms of the astral world, and finally we incarnated on the material plane, far away from God, far away from the direct experience of God and higher beings. In the first time here on earth, life was magical and people were able to perceive beings from the astral world as we know them from fairy tales and legends. But then the worlds were separated and people perceived only the physical plane, which led to the ideology of materialism. This fall into matter has the purpose to crystallize people's personality to become real individuals. Without this fall, crystallization would have been impossible. And now that we are crystallized, we return to the spiritual realms to unfold our divine nature. So, in fact, everything has to do with the development, with the natural development. You can compare this, for example, with the natural growth of flowers. A flower starts as a very small seed and unfolds itself as a blooming flower, a great plant. Again, the seed must be placed in the earth, in the darkness, far away from the sun and the great sky. But from the earth, from its foundation, the seed begins to grow, to become a great plant, back into the light. So the main point for mankind, the individual human being, is to unfold his divine nature, to become a temple of God, his inner self, for perfect self-knowledge, perfect self-awareness. The second point that goes along with this is the attainment of total dominion over the material plane through technical progress. This technical progress, which will reach a level of magic, will become a reality where the boundaries of the material plane and the astral plane, the mental plane, will disappear. One day it will be normal to dematerialize matter into astral matter and to work with intelligent machines. This process of mastering the material plane, together with the spiritual development of mankind, also means a transformation, a spiritualization of the material plane, the earth, and the lower parts of the astral plane. Everything that has fallen from God into darkness and matter must one day return to the light of the spiritual realms. I say this mainly because we cannot neglect technological development and progress in science, since they are part of the divine plan. The evolution, the spiritual development of mankind follows certain periods of time with different cosmic influences supporting the different steps. Thus we speak of an Iron Age, a Golden Age, and so on, of mankind to outline these particular evolutionary stages and circumstances of life. This is only in passing. What is meant by this is that human progress is limited to the individual ages or the cosmic influence. In dark times people behave rather evil. In bright times people behave more spiritually, to put it briefly.